Okay, Dustin Weeks with CompStack is here to speak with us about the new things that we have going on. So Dustin, I'll let you take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you everybody else for taking some time out of your day to let me kind of go through our partnership with NAR today. We've had a lot of success with a lot of the other chapters in the area, so we're really excited to speak with you guys, give you some insight into how we can help the agents and brokers that are affiliated with you guys, get you guys access to some lease and comp data, some property data, bunch of great information in here. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We'll go through a quick PowerPoint here, and then if we have time, we'll run through a quick demo of the platform. So if there's any questions that are specific to the relationship or the platform, feel free to interrupt and let me know. If anybody's interested in seeing anything in more detail that might not be relevant to the whole group, please feel free to ping me afterwards and we can schedule a personal demo to go through things that are more specific to what you might be looking for. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started here. So what is CompStack? So we are a free platform for commercial real estate brokers, appraisers, and professionals to trade and access verified lease and sales comps. So I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with some of our competition. There's a lot of platforms out there to gather this data. What sets us apart from most of the other vendors out there is we are, again, a 100% free platform for commercial real estate professionals. So there's no monetary cost to join the platform, to participate, anything along those lines. Essentially, how we operate is on a one-for-one trade, right? So, again, brokers, appraisers, and researchers are on our platform. They're sharing data, providing that data onto the platform. In return, they're getting some credits, which they can use to access data. We'll get into that a little bit more. So again, kind of just to how we collect our data, what you're going to see on the platform, where that comes from. So there's three main groups that are actively participating with CompStack, right? And those are brokers or agents, appraisers, and then commercial real estate researchers. So every member that's allowed onto our platform has to be a verified commercial real estate professional, actively working, in their specific market or nationwide, however they operate. So the reason we say that is we're very picky about who we let on the platform, right? We know the validity of the data is very important to you guys. So you have to, again, be one of these three people in the commercial real estate world actively participating in order to become a member of CompStack. So how can you guys actually go about accessing our data, right? So I kind of touched on this earlier, and we'll get a little more detailed into it briefly. But again, step one is a user will submit a comp, whether it's a deal they worked on themselves or a deal that they hear about in the market through their own personal, network of brokers or appraisers that they're sharing with, or whether it's from a landlord or a tenant that they're working with, they will upload that comp onto the platform. Once that comp is verified and vetted by our research team, that comp will then be converted into credits, which will be allocated into that specific member's account. And then those credits can be used to access any lease or sales comp on the platform that you guys are looking for. So again, no monetary cost. It's a very simple process. Upload a comp. Once it's verified, you'll receive credits. Those credits can then be redeemed to unlock any comp that you guys are looking for on the platform. So how much data do we actually have, and where is it coming from, right? So currently we're processing roughly 60,000 lease and sales comps every single month nationwide. So those comps are coming from all different kinds of shops, from your CBREs all the way down to your one-man appraisal shops, and everything in between. So again, we're collecting, roughly 60 to 100,000 comps every month, uploading those onto the platform for our members to access. So once we get that data, how do we actually go through that process to make sure that what we're showing you guys is as accurate and verified as possible, right? Because every broker out there knows that accurate data, accurate comps are very vital to your business. So we try to go through every step to make sure that this information is in fact verified and vetted before we make it available to our members. So the first step in that process is our artificial intelligence. So a team of tech engineers significantly smarter than me developed this process that essentially takes every sales or lease comp that we get into the platform, runs it through this computer program, and it essentially says, okay, we have a 5,000 square foot retail space in Baltimore in this specific submarket, and it's going to compare it to every similar deal within a certain radius that meets those same property specs, and just check for any immediate red flags, right? So if the average rental rate for retail in an area is $20 a square foot, and somebody provides us a comp for $10 or $30 or $40, whatever it may be, it's going to initially get red flagged and have to be peer reviewed before it can move on to the next step, right? So assuming it makes it through the artificial intelligence phase, everything looks good to go from an Airo perspective, it is sent on for an analyst review. So we have an entire team of data researchers who essentially pick through each individual comp that we get. Again, check for any outliers, check for any other information, make sure it's as accurate as we can, possibly get it. Once they're able to confirm that, it will move on, to the next step and be published onto the platform. What community regulation means is, because we are a crowdsourced platform, we have roughly 35,000 plus members actively participating. What that means is we're getting each comp on average 5 times from 5 different sources. So if 5 brokers or appraisers send us the same comp, and one of those comps that are submitted have different information than the other 4, that comp will be pulled off the platform, will be revetted, re-reviewed before we can confirm what information is accurate and publish that onto the platform. So again, we take validity, we take verification very seriously. Again, with the community regulation, because we are crowdsourced, if you guys are on the platform and you happen to see a comp, maybe a deal that you worked on, and you say, hey, I know the rental rate here is actually, $15.50, not $15.45. There's an option where you guys can create an update, send that into us, we'll pull the comp, re-verify, and republish once it can be confirmed. So where are our coverages? I know you guys are obviously focused in the Maryland area, but a lot of times brokers and appraisers find themselves doing deals outside of their general market. So if that is the case for you guys, you are in luck. We are in essentially every single commercial real estate market across the country. Again, 100 plus markets, 1,000 plus submarkets. We're in over 12,000 cities across the country. Again, we have 30,000 plus members, over 750,000 properties, and we've collected over 4 million comps to date. So again, this is significantly more data than most brokers are going to be able to access from their internal databases or their personal networks. So again, the amount of data that you'll see on here will really help you guys bolster your database, provide your tenants, your clients, your landlords, whoever you're working with, with the most up-to-date and recent information. So some of the benefits of using the platform, how we can kind of help you guys out. There's a few things here, right? So I kind of touched on this on the side before, but magnify your data sharing network. What that means is, if you're a broker working in a market, chances are you're connecting with other brokers or agents in your general network. You're sharing data back and forth. So if you have a network of 10 brokers that you're sharing data between, we've basically magnified that. So now you're collecting data and have a network of over 30,000 plus people that you're able to share and trade with, right? So just taking that process that brokers are already using, putting it onto a nationwide platform to give you guys access to more data, again, with concierge support. So you'll have an individual, myself or my colleague Kirby, for the Maryland market, to be able to help you guys with anything that you might need as you're sorting through the platform looking for specific data. Next is prospecting for new clients. So we have a lot of great tools, and if we have time, I'll go into a demo for you guys. But a lot of brokers that are still looking to generate more business, find out what requirements might be coming up in a specific market. Because we collect lease comps, obviously we have lease expirations. So you're able to do a search and say, show me every office tenant within a certain radius, if you're in a certain market that has a lease expiring within the next 1 to 2 years or whatever date you guys set, right? So then you can say, okay, here's a list of tenants that might have a requirement coming up in the near future. This might be a good list for me to reach out to and see what their plans are. So again, just helping you guys prospect for new deals or just keeping track of movements in the market, right? If a tenant has a lease expiring, maybe that building might be hitting the market. And if you have a tenant that's interested in that type of space. And then analyzing averages of net effective, starting rent, transaction size, tenant improvement, work value. We are collecting data that is very hard to access from other sources. So instead of just giving you a lease comp that has, tenant name, square footage, and starting rent, we try to go into more detail. So we're providing you guys with, all of that general information, but also tenant improvement value, free rent value. On the sales side, we try to collect cap rates and NOIs as much as possible. So again, data points that are very difficult to find, that can be very vital to a tenant or a client that you're working with to make sure that they are in fact getting, the best deal they can get in a specific space. And then accelerating the decision-making process, right? So if brokers are running a deal and they have to spend a couple hours, calling around to different brokers, collecting comps, getting that data, we can save you all that time. Simply hop onto the platform, get all the data you need in a couple minutes, export it into our great PDF report and get that out. So again, helping accelerate those processes so you're not spending time doing stuff that, ultimately isn't making you money and closing deals. So, just trying to, again, accelerate those processes for you to make everything as easy as possible. So with NAR specifically, you'll be able to, I'm sure you guys are very familiar with your own website here, but there will be a link onto NAR's website where you can click on additional resources, click onto the CompStack link. You'll get some more information about who we are, how the relationship works, and then you'll have an option to either sign up with a new account. If you're already an existing CompStack member, you can log in directly through here. Again, and just get some more information on our platform from here. So again, directly through the NAR website, you can contact us, log in, or sign up from there. So what does that give you guys, right? So what is our relationship with NAR specifically? So generally speaking, when a new user signs up, in order for them to access comps, they will have to submit their own comps in order to get credits, right? So one thing that we're working with all NAR commercial members is anybody that signs up or logs in through that link on NAR will be rewarded with 500 bonus credits right off the bat, right? So no need to trade any comps to begin using the platform. You'll be able to log in, use those credits to, unlock a handful of comps, get more comfortable with the platform, confirm the validity of the data, again, and use all of that before ever having to submit any of your own comps to access credits. And again, if you already have a CompStack account, you can either log in through that link or you can shoot us an email at nar@compstack.com and we will reward those credits into your account retroactively. So I think we have some time today if everybody's okay with running through this.
Yeah, we have a few minutes.
Okay, can you guys see this screen as well?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. So I'll run through this very briefly. Again, if anybody wants a more detailed version of this, please let me know. We're happy to do so. So the first thing you're going to see when you hop onto our platform is our dashboard page.
Justin, I
yes.
don't think that we're seeing what we're supposed to see. What we see says platform demo, and then
Okay.
we're actually not seeing anything additional.
Perfect. Give me 1 second, then let me fix that for you guys.
Justin, can you send me the PowerPoint as well that I can send it out to those who weren't able to attend today? Are you able to do that?
Yes, happily.
And then they'll have your information too if they need to reach out directly for anything.
Yes, that'll all be on there for you as well.
Perfect.
Okay, here we go. Okay,
There we
you
go.
guys can see this now. Okay, perfect. So, again, just to reiterate, if anybody wants a more detailed version of this, please let me know. So as soon as you hop onto the platform, the first thing you're going to see is our dashboard page. Again, on the side here, you'll have all of our markets. If you do find yourself doing in a deal outside of Maryland, just simply go through here, click onto the market that you're looking for, and you'll be able to access that data. So for the purpose of today, we'll just go to the Baltimore area. Again, you'll see our platform here, our dashboard. This is a really great way to just get some aerial information on a specific market. Again, you'll be able to see lease expirations here. This is a great tenant industry map to see what specific types of tenants are located in specific areas of a market. If a client of yours is looking to be surrounded by like tenants. Tenant industries, if you're looking for a specific type of space, you can click through one of these and they'll show you all the data available on that specific type of tenant list. Largest landlords, largest tenants, specific lease and sales activity, and then just some general information on memberships for those markets, right? Where most of our bread and butter lies is in our leases and our sales tab here. So you can see just in Baltimore alone, we're just under 5,500 lease comps available for you guys. Some of our bigger markets like Manhattan, I think we're close to like 57,000. So we are growing these markets out. Just for example, in Baltimore about a year and a half ago, we were right around 2,000 lease comps. So we've been growing out pretty rapidly in these other markets to help you guys out. There's a few filters here that are pretty self-explanatory. I won't go into these, but you can set up radius filters, polygon filters, specific submarkets. Where I think you guys will find the most use is through our more filters.
Can you show us specifically where in our local marketplace, what we would find? So like Maryland. Looking at Baltimore is wonderful. It's just not a marketplace that most of us work.
That's fair. So if we click the Maryland other, this is going to bring us, are you guys more on this side of Maryland or down further?
Right there.
Right there.
Right where you're right there.
Okay, so we can do, and just a radius filter here.
Perfect.
Kind of add that in.
So
Right,
you've got
so we
less
can-
data points there because you don't have anybody on the platform as of yet, I would assume.
Yeah, exactly. It's obviously one of the smaller markets that we're growing out. So the more people that we can get on, the more data that's being shared. And again, a lot more companies are more comfortable saying, okay, I don't want to be the only person sharing, but if we have a whole group of people that are sharing data collectively, again, we'll be able to grow this market out pretty rapidly. But so for example, if this is a market that, obviously most of you guys are working on, if there's a specific space type that you're working through, you can click through those here. You can get very specific with these searches. You can say, if there's a specific tenant that you're working with, you can see all the comps available for that tenant or a specific industry. Again, this is where the expiration date column is. So you can say, show me every tenant in this market with a lease expiring in the next 1 to 2 years. Again, help with some prospecting. One thing that I recommend is if you, if this is a search that you're going to be doing regularly, so if you're looking for office space in this specific market, set up your parameters, whatever makes sense for you that you're going to be using regularly, whatever you're looking for, and then click this save search button, label it something that makes sense, click off, receive email updates here, and save that search. What that will do for you is then anytime a new lease or sales comp makes its way onto the platform that meets those parameters, you'll get an email directly to you that says, hey, a new comp has been uploaded, click here to check it out, right? So you don't have to scroll through, reset your search parameters every single day, see what's new, save those searches, you'll get email alerts as soon as something's available for you. And we can just kind of go through our sales pages here for you as well. So our sales page works the same way as the lease comps. What we do on our sales comps here is we collect obviously data from CompStak submitters, so our crowdsourced data, but we also wanted to make public record data available for you guys. So if you click off only public record, you'll be able to see all public record sales comps. Those do not cost any credits to unlock. Obviously you guys can find that information on your own, but we just wanted to put it in an easier format so you don't have to search through government county websites or anything like that to locate those. So again, those are here for you, but if you're looking for CompStak data, just switch that back over. And we can click through one of these here just to kind of show you guys what it will look like. So again, if we open this sales comp here, this is in Waldorf, Maryland. Again, you're getting more than you'll get on public record or most other data where you're getting a sales price, an LLC name for a buyer, so on and so forth. So again, you can see sales price, cap rates, NOI, sales date, deed numbers, property specific information, and then buyer and seller info on here as well. And let's check out our lease comps here. So I'm just going to open this one, for example. I know it might not specifically be in your market, but I want to show you one that has a lot of data available points for you. So our lease comps, again, we try to get as granular as possible on here. So you'll see, your general information, whether it's a renewal or a new lease, lease type. So whether it's full service, gross, triple net, how many months of free rent were provided, annual escalations, if any TI or work value was allocated for that deal, that will be provided for you in here as well. And then obviously term dates, space type, building class, landlord, tenant information is available here for you. So again, you can see this comp was sent in 5 times by 5 different sources. So again, we're able to kind of, verify that information by receiving 5 of the exact same comp from 5 different sources. So if you do unlock a comp and you decide this is something that you want to export out and send to a client, we give you a couple different ways to do that. The first and easiest way is to click this share comp button here, type an email address in for anybody, whether they're a CompStack member or not, and they'll get a copy of this page into their inbox. The other way is to export. You could do an Excel sheet, very self-explanatory. I won't go into that. But our PDF page is, pretty unique. Every single column on here is fully customizable before you export anything. So if there's anything on here that you don't want your client or customer to see, or you want them to see differently, you have the ability to edit every single field on these pages. You can add a specific logo. So if, one of the brokers or appraisers that are a member, they have a logo for their shop that we don't already have on file, send us a JPEG of that. We'll get it uploaded. You can put your logo on the top. We can also add, your client's logo. We have thousands and thousands of different company logos. But again, if there's one specifically that we don't have, send us an image of it. We'll get it uploaded pretty quickly for you. So again, you can upload this once it's ready, export it, and you have a ready to go pre-made comp report that doesn't need any additional editing or any, marketing teams or anything like that to help you kind of put this stuff together. So a lot of great resources on there for you. And then last but not least, on this page is our stacking plan. So if we have any office brokers on with us today, our stacking plan allows you, to build out specific property reports, stuff like that, that you might be using for a listing or for a client, whoever it is. You'll have the ability to click on that specific property and build these out for you. So let's quickly get into kind of how the credits work, how you guys can upload information, and then we'll end it there. So it's very easy to submit data onto CompStack. We try to make it as simple as possible for you guys. So there's a couple different ways you can go about it. The first way is you can simply shoot me an email with your comp in any format. I'll send that to our data team. They'll process everything on your behalf. Nothing else for you guys to do. The other way is to click this upload files button and simply drag and drop your files into there. Again, we collect pretty much any file format. So however you guys are keeping your data, whether it's a Word doc, an Excel page, a PDF, however it may be, you can provide us those documents and we'll do all the hard work of sorting through and getting what we need. And then last but not least, if you would like to manually enter comp data, just simply click on here, click whether it's a sales or a lease comp, type in that information, and you're ready to go.
We do have a few minutes for questions. Does anybody have any questions for Dustin?
Please.
Could you go to an address for me? And I just kind of want to see what the data is on.
Yeah, we can see what we can do. Go for it.
85 High Street, Waldorf, 20602.
So we have 2 office leases here, no sales history data on this property. Let's just click here and see what we have. So this is a 2020 Q4 comp, so it's not exactly the most recent deal, but it is still active. And you can see the credits when I unlocked that, that was only 5 credits to unlock. I'll jump back into that briefly, but yeah, I don't know if this is the deal you worked on specifically, which is why you're asking.
I've worked on that building before, that's why I'm asking.
Okay,
So I don't see any, like, it doesn't say who the landlord is, doesn't say who the broker was, doesn't say any of that. Where does this data like this, where are they getting that? Are they getting that?
That's public records.
yeah, so because we are fully crowdsourced, right? Whatever is provided to us, we provide back to our members. So if whoever sent in this comp gave us landlord and brokerage information, we'll provide that. Our data research team does also try to research a lot of this information. Unfortunately, Waldorf, Maryland probably isn't the highest on their priority list in terms of, locating a lot of that data, but we are working on growing out that team to provide you guys with more, insight to some of our secondary and tertiary markets. So again, you will see comps that have this, but again, because we are crowdsourced, unless it's provided to us, we can't necessarily, confirm and provide that back to you.
So
One thing.
if Michael knew the information for that, he could send it to you guys though, and y'all could add it to the.
Yeah, you read my mind. So this little button right here that says suggest an update. You can either click on here and say, here's the landlord, here's the tenant broker, here's some other data points, and you can send that into us. Or if you have this comp in your database already that's fully complete, you can resend it to us. And we'll add those data points into the existing comp on the platform. So there are a couple ways to do that. If you do a suggest an update, the only thing is you will not get credits for suggesting an update. So I recommend if you have the full comp to just send it in separately. So that way you guys are credited for it. If you do send a correction in, and you email me specifically, I'll provide my email information at the end. I will throw you a few credits for helping that out, but it won't be automated as if you were to send in the comp.
Any other questions, guys? Anybody?
Yeah, I do. This is Andre Smith. A quick question. You had alluded to the credits that, is that a one-on-one? So if I was to send you a comp of a lease that I just did, that will just unlock one credit for me. So can you just give me an example? Because I have no idea of the universe. So I don't know what
Understood.
one-on-one means in terms of my buying power.
Yeah, let's go into that a little bit, right? So these are how the credits will work here, right? So 30 credits is the most that you can receive for a singular comp. It's also the most that a singular comp will cost to unlock. So 30 credits is any comp that you send us that was done within the last 12 months, contains all of our required fields here. So very general information. And then we have premium fields. So on a lease comp, if you send us a comp with all of these and at least 2 of these premium fields. So if you say, here's all the general data, and then here's the TI value, and it was a renewal or a sublease or, a new deal, whatever it is, you will receive 30 credits for that comp. And again, if you see a comp that costs 30 credits to unlock, it will also meet all of these parameters as well. 25 credits is anything done within the last 12 months that just has those required fields. And then 5 credits is anything older than 12 months, regardless of how much data is included. So what we would consider historical data. So if you send us a comp that's worth 30 credits, you can choose to unlock another 30 credit comp. You can unlock 6 5-credit comps or 125 and 1.5, whatever makes sense to you, right? So you have a credit bank up on the top. And you can unlock any comp of any value as long as you have the credits, to associate with unlocking that.
Hi, Dustin. This is
Yes.
Billy Fitzgerald. I had a couple questions for you.
Sure.
If I understood it, you told me that your service is free.
Correct.
Now,
Correct.
these credits, it looks like you can't get any information out of there until you build up credits.
Correct. So the way you build credits is by submitting comps, right? But with our NAR partnership, every NAR member receives 500 credits right off the bat. So you'll be able to unlock a handful of deals before ever having to submit a comp onto the platform to receive additional credits. But again, it is free, no monetary cost. Simply upload a comp. You'll receive credits to unlock what you're looking for. But again, we will give everybody 500 credits to start off with, so you can really unlock a decent amount of data before having to send anything else in and re-up those credits.
Okay, when you just looked up that comp in Waldorf, and it sounded
Yeah.
like your program doesn't have much information for Waldorf. What about the Southern Maryland area? Are we faced with the same thing that you don't have a lot of information for Southern Maryland?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a market that we're growing out. It's obviously not our largest market in Southern Maryland, to be honest with you, but it is something that we're growing actively. The more members that we can get actively involved with submitting data, obviously will provide more information for you guys. So with the NAR partnership, it has really helped us to kind of grow out some of these other areas. I think we've signed on close to 600 NAR members already across the country. So the more folks that we can get involved uploading data, the more you guys will have access to at the end of the day. But again, because it is something that is a free service and you guys are, simply using a credit system, you'll be able to view what's available for you before you determine if it's something that you want to unlock. Let me just go through these a little bit more for you.
But in essence, because we gotta
Yeah.
get our meeting started, in essence, the answer is you don't have a lot of information for Southern Maryland area.
I mean, we have 1.1 thousand lease comps available in Southern Maryland. Obviously not all of them are from 2022 or early 2023. But 1,000 lease comps and then roughly, sorry, 1 second here. And then roughly, 900 plus sales comps available in those markets. So again, it's not our strongest market at the moment, but we are growing it out. Continue to check in. I'm sure you'll see these numbers increase as we bring on more members.
Where did this info come from? Other companies that you spoke with and they're participating?
Yeah, any one of our 35,000 plus members that are submitting data, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be a broker from Southern Maryland. We get a lot of comp data from brokers in outside markets. You guys are pretty close to DC, Baltimore, Virginia. So a lot of those brokers are doing crossover deals. They'll send us those comps in as well. So again, not everything's necessarily from brokers specifically in Southern Maryland, but we have 35,000 plus brokers and appraisers that are actively sending us deals in from, all different markets across the country.
Okay, so do you have a list of?
Billy, I'm gonna have to stop you because we do have to have our meeting. Michael's got one more question. Dustin's gonna send me all this information and I'm gonna send it out to everybody with his information. If you guys have any more specific questions or need a more detailed demo, please reach out to him directly, but we've only got 15 more minutes to get into our meeting as well. So Michael's got
Understood.
Just one question for you. Is it possible to purchase credits?
No, so we do not sell credits to any commercial real estate brokers or appraisers. Unfortunately, if we did that, it would eliminate, the incentive for people to submit comps to access. So short answer is no, we're not able to sell credits.
Dustin, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Email me the PowerPoint. Is your information in the PowerPoint?
Yeah, it's in the last slide, all my contact info. So I'll get that over to you shortly. Anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry for cutting you off. I know we could probably go on for the next half hour, 45 minutes with all this, but we do
Yeah,
have-
not a problem. All right, guys. Thank you very much.
And maybe we'll have you come back in a few months and see if there's anything new.
Yeah, let me know. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.